I'll go over that video myself, or we'll play it
I
sometime
think
later on the stream. But there is very compelling evidence. Very compelling evidence.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I think Trump is finished. I think Trump. You know why he's finished? Because there's no reaction no more. Like remember when they first searched Mar-a-Lago, everybody went crazy. Oh, how they could do it? Now every day you see what they doing? They're doing it slowly, so people come. So because they're normalizing it in the head of the megas. Now he's going to court every day. He's being punished, penalized for being a douchebag every day. And, he's in New York City right now because he's about to lose everything he has. That's why he's there every day. It's all about money. So eventually, by the time the third or fourth trial is going to come, he's going to be degraded or he's going to be forgotten. All the media has to do is just ignore him. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't put him on 24 hours a day and reach everybody that supports him. Just fuck it. You see, right now, when they're busy with the Palestinian issue and get the shooter, we're going to talk about later on. They don't. Yeah. Nobody cares. Nobody knows he went to court. Who cares? I mean, he's not. I don't know how a crazy New Yorker took over the South and the Midwest, the Confederacy. He just took it over. I don't know how he did it.
Well, like to think that a billionaire from birth who was riding off the success of his father and grandmother before him, just goes to show that so long as you tell these, disenfranchised Republicans and these MAGA voters anything that's, sort of populist or at the very least spiteful against, establishment Democrats, they'll buy it. They'll buy it. Even though this, right-wing populism contradicts the establishment neocon thought. I mean, they'll just roll with it so long as it's against progressivism in and of itself. And it's funny you brought up his legal cases, which is a perfect segue into this next segment. His lawyers are endlessly fucking turning on him, man, and like it's absolutely bonkers to see. Look at Jenna Ellis. Like, okay, so the reason to smile in some sort of mugshot is because you believe your case against the prosecution is open and shut.
You're
like betting on them either not bringing the charges against you or them bringing the charges and you getting acquitted in court because their case against you is moot. But she took a guilty plea. So like, how the fuck are you owning them? Worst lawyer, possibly the worst lawyer in America.
Good.
What were you gonna say?
No, not only that grant, if she had been found guilty, that would cost her a couple of years in jail because the judges don't like that bullshit. This is something because she's not taken seriously. This was a message to the mega. Look, look, I got this grin on, and she was scared as fuck. She was crying. So when she did the statement, I didn't know he's doing it. I don't believe it. It was Rudy Giuliani and his farts. They took over my mind. Shut up, idiot. I know she's an idiot.
I was convinced by Rudy Giuliani of all people. God. What was New York doing back then, man? What was New York doing?
When
he was elected that fuck.
Oh, he was good. He was not so good. We had a good police commissioner named, I think his name was Brett. I don't know if he got his name. It's an Irish guy. He came from Boston. And he cleaned the city. The city was fucked up. And he got all the credit. You understand? Mm-hmm. Because and they had this policy. And New York was. I was there. It was graffiti, cracks. People. It was fucking like it's disgusting. It was, and he did clean it up. I'm gonna give him credit for that. He cleaned it up nicely. You understand? I don't know what happened, but I think I don't know. Maybe when he got older, maybe he's 80 years old. He's almost 80 years old, so he's not the same Giuliani we knew then. So, I'm not the same Omar that I was in my 20s or 25. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
So maybe a fuse blew up someplace up his fucking head, and he's losing everything. But he's always been a shitbag. Because I remember when he was married, he had a lover, and his wife is in Gracie Mansion, which is where the mayor stays in New York. Mm-hmm. He would go to his girlfriend in front of everybody in the newspaper and embarrass and humiliate his wife. Every time he's a disgusting motherfucker. He's been this disgusting piece of shit. I was young and I used to get mad because I said, why is he doing that to his wife, man? Right in front of the whole city, 8 million people watching that. You understand?
Yeah, remember when he booked the wrong 4 seasons? That was before the show started. Remember when he booked the wrong
okay,
4 seasons?
that gives you an idea what you're dealing with. He was in a lawn place. So it was a lawn mowing place. Or was it? He's not
Yeah,
there,
landscaping place
and he
across from a crematorium and
and
a a sex toy shop.
all the money that he has acquired, he's going to lose it unless he makes a deal. Because the problem is, it's not they're going to go to jail. It's so costly to defend yourself. So the whole idea is to bankrupt them. Because when you're fighting against the government, you can't beat their money because they print it. You understand? So what they do is they're going to take she was saying 4 months. The DA in Georgia, right? That's 4 months of representative. You know how much money that is? That's almost a million
Oh
and
my
a half
god.
dollars. She
Yeah.
doesn't have that much. So a lot of them, they knew they're going to be bankrupted, did that, or they were going to lose their law license, because that's how she makes up money. And I think they should take it away. I'm against that kind of punishment, but I think she deserves that because she was trying to overthrow the government of the United States. This piece of shit. Look at this.
Yeah, just trying to overturn the results of an election. Like,
Unbelievable.
okay, to these freaks, what's the more solution? So, okay, what's the better solution here? Trying to overturn the election with legal arguments that have been thrown out by courts every time they're brought to them, or governing effectively and then running a campaign where you emphasize your achievements on the economy, where you emphasize populism. Now, they knew Trump was horrible at governing. I mean, a guy is, no political
he didn't
experience.
do nothing. He didn't do nothing for them.
Yeah, right-wing populism is just like fake politics that just doesn't work across the board. So what they tried to do is, because they knew Biden had won this election fair and square, they tried to insert fake electors, like fake electoral college electors. Oh my god, like
I don't know. So
Jenna Ellis shown
okay,
here.
let her go.
Her mugshot in
yeah, like all this talk of voter fraud is so hypocritical.
No, the whole idea. Go ahead. Let's watch these
1
idiots.
week.
I like Bill
Dominoes
Arbor.
keep falling in this RICO case. Last week, of course, ended with 2 lawyers who used to represent Donald Trump going into court, confessing and pleading guilty. Ellis now joins them. I want to show you briefly all 3 of these guilty pleas together.
How do you plead guilty? Guilty.
Jeez, bro.
There
Yeah.
it is.
And they're all lawyers.
This is now the 4th total conviction.
Oh
in
my
RICO
God.
cases. DA Willis is 4 and 0.
These people are licensed. How did these people pass the LSAT? Oh my
know.
god.
It took a black woman to bring him
Trump
down.
Lawyer
Yeah.
projects are, of course,
Right, you know what I'm saying?
higher up in the food chain
Yeah.
of this chart.
To save out
The other two
democracy.
Trump
Benny
lawyers,
Willis and her.
well, they pled out on the eve of a trial that was actually scheduled to begin this week. If they hadn't pled guilty, we'd be covering that right now. Ms. Ellis was not about to start an imminent trial. She rushed back to court today as her own choice, reacting to the growing pressure of her
trashy looking
convicted
bull, man.
colleagues, trying to get a deal while she still can.
304.
What you see here, this new footage is from that Atlanta.
Yeah, like that was weird. I looked up Trump's attorneys, like, I don't know, just coming up
She
on a
didn't
year
even.
back.
She
It
didn't even.
looks like so many of them were like really young and like these
I don't know what he gets with them. There's a guy, Rick Wilson of the Lincoln Project. He said a good word like 3 years ago. He said everything Trump touches dies, and it's true. Every
Like Rick
person
Wilson.
that has been involved with him ended up in jail or being investigated or went bankrupt because they had to defend themselves. Nobody has come out. Only Jared Kushner came out with $2 billion, so he's okay so far. That's the only his family that's making money. Because,
Yeah, there's this political cartoon that goes, I'm Trump's attorney, and here's my attorney, and here's his attorney, and and 3 lawyers walk into the room because like he always asks them to do illegal shit.
yeah, yeah, he does. He thought accident that, but he's gonna go to jail. I have that feeling.
From
Oh,
some
yeah.
of the other things we heard in the
I
other
hope he's barred from running again.
Yeah,
2 plea deals. We will show you that
The
in
problem
moments
is-
ahead. I also want to tell you, to be clear, that her guilty plea does build on a point that we have been reporting on, how when the dominoes start falling in these cases, well, they can fall faster and faster and faster. Ellis pleading guilty today to the felony count of aiding and abetting
Yeah, the prosecution wants you to testify.
false
Yeah.
statements, basically fraud to try to steal an election. And those lies were pitched, among other places, to members of the Georgia Senate at a specific meeting where she and other Trump attorneys and aides were trying to get Georgia to steal the votes of its own constituents. It may have seemed far-fetched, Some crimes are far-fetched. Today, the lies in service of that are themselves a crime. Now, as for this court hearing today, Ms. Ellis spoke longer than the other two Trump convicts. She was at times clearly, visibly emotional. She read a statement that she wrote today that expresses what she called remorse and also broke with her years of lies and misconduct on behalf of Donald Trump.
Translation, my ass is going to go into the slammer if I actually try to challenge Georgia in court. So I'm going to take the plea deal and testify against Trump.
Not only that, she was tweeting a lot that he's not paying for a couple of months already. She was sending these signals, these smoke signals for him to pay or to help out, and he didn't help out. She only raised like $200,000 on the GoFundMe. So she saw she was going to be fucked. She's going to be down at least $1 million. She's going to have to suck every dick in Georgia to get that money together. Excuse my language.
Oh, yeah. It's like the Heath Ledger quote from The Dark Knight. You know, these law and order people, these, so-called, legal defense people, these people in the public service, when the chips are down, they will eat each other because they want to avoid, the worst sentence. First one that squeal gets the best deal.
Make no mistake and don't believe.
This Katie Porter's campaign, I think.
She wants to be a senator, right? She's not gonna.
Thank you, Your Honor, for the opportunity to.
I think Adam Schiff's gonna get it.
Yeah.
As an attorney who is also a Christian, I take my responsibility.
Leave that Christian out of it. Leave Jesus out of it.
To be a person of sound.
God, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar. Render the election unto Biden.
2020 presidential election. I believed that challenging the results on behalf of President Trump should be pursued in a just and legal way. I endeavored to represent my client to the best of my ability. I relied on others, including lawyers with many more years of experience than I, to provide me with true and reliable information, especially since my role involved speaking to the media and to legislators in various states. What I did not do, but should have done, Your Honor, was to make sure that the facts the other lawyers alleged to be true were in fact true. In the frenetic pace of attempting
free.
To the election in several.
They should have added each one of them 5 years not to practice law and probation, just to hurt them financially a little bit because they went all in. They went all in to destroy the whole system. You understand? And that was
If you want to really damage lawyers, go after their legal fees. Go after the money.
Before the Colorado bar who censured me, and I now take responsibility before this court and apologize to the people of Georgia. Thank you.
All right.
You're not smiling now, are you?
Yeah, you're not smiling. That grin is gone.
There are very few style points that matter in court. Ellis got a plea deal because she'll testify against others, not based on the words in that statement. In fact, the other two convicted Trump lawyers didn't offer any statements at all. So people can assess or
it actually is best to just close your fucking mouth.
Will do, and of course, what she now admits
that's the advice any normal lawyer will tell you. Any actually remotely effective lawyer will tell you, close your mouth and let the lawyer do the talking.
And those who followed the news in 2020.
What were you going to say?
She didn't even acknowledge it on her Twitter. She's making fun of everybody. She has all these fake news articles, She's still, I'm in it with the team, She's trying to not to take the full hit in the face from the mega world, but she's going to get it anyway, no matter what.
She needs a gag order.
She needs you know what I'm talking about. Yep. I don't know where they found her. She looks young.
And at times, literally.
Well, you can't hire these inexperienced, MAGA lawyers.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to actually provide a legitimate legal defense. They're not going to do things legally. Like Trump, he's always testing the limits of what's legal and illegal. And, if things go against his way, he won't hesitate to violate a law. So Legal Eagle went over this. Like none of the people who were actually indicted by the state of Georgia were on his Trump lawyer tier list. All the Trump lawyers who are actually remotely effective left in 2018 or something.
Because they're making millions of dollars. They don't got to risk it with he doesn't even pay them, this guy. He doesn't pay.
Yeah.
He won't pay even as a plumber.
Of all this.
Yeah, Cohen had to pay Stormy Daniels out of his own pocket. What the hell is that?
You know what he did when he built the Trump Tower? Most of the workers were from Poland. He brought them in on these special visas, and he used to
Oh,
let them.
American workers,
Yeah,
American
yeah.
workers.
Watch what he did to them.
Bullshit.
He used to make them sleep inside the building as they were building it. In the end, he don't want to pay them. They had to go to court because he was threatening to report him to the immigration to get what do you call it deported.
Yeah, deported.
And he ended up sticking along, and they never got their money. They ran. He just does it, and he gets away for all his life. He's been doing this all his life.
Of course.
I he finally has
What I
to
know
pay the
now,
piper.
When I was younger, I wish that I knew what I know now
Yeah,
when I was stronger. And in that sense,
I like Arian.
knowingly or not, she is tapping
You
into
watch
an
him?
appealing sound
Sometimes.
Yeah,
narrative. And remember, these
Like I
I-
mostly watch leftists on YouTube and not, the liberals on.
yeah. I used to watch the
Cable.
MSNBC all the time. When I saw the Israeli coverage, I fuck them. I just
These
left.
MAGA convicts
Yeah.
are also lawyers.
Yeah.
And communication
Trust me, they're good on law. They're good on law.
operatives. They are skilled in narrative. So they lean on that kind of narrative. I wish I knew. But factually, these election crimes are not some youthful indiscretion. These crimes now convicted are not the mistakes that people make as they grow up and make friends and fall in love.
Yeah, they're like life-destroying legal mistakes.
Yeah,
Genre.
deadly mistakes for
That's
for us.
the case with lawyers who have a job and a salary and an oath, all based on a very clear, researched understanding of what the law is.
Yes.
They went to school for this. How could you screw this up this bad?
Cross those very clear, obvious, long-standing criminal lines.
So you have free.
For the worst reasons.
What they were doing was deadly, because imagine if they had succeeded in returning the electoral college votes. It would have turned into chaos, because us in the blue states, we're gonna say, hey, what's going on? People will took to the streets. The military will have to get involved. That's what Trump wanted. He wanted mayhem and chaos, and thank God he didn't get it, because what they were doing is something dangerous. The only thing we have as a country that no other country have is, some of them have it, but is the peaceful transfer of power. Nobody has been able to figure out those the whole 100 countries. They can't figure it out. Once they finish their term, they start killing each other because they don't know how to hand over the reins. You know what I'm saying? That's all we have. We have that, and if we lose that, it's over. Game over.
Yeah, absolutely.
About trying to get Pence to steal the race by claiming power to toss votes
Yeah.
in Washington on January 6th.
Yeah.
She had that early
Bogus
indictment for
law.
trying to get
Bogus.
Yeah.
Prosecutors documented at least 10 acts that she took with Giuliani, including, as mentioned, the lies to the state legislature. In fact, we know what it looked like. This was a December.
They fail in court every time, and attempting to do
Yeah.
these things they're recommending is straight up illegal.
left.
Well, what does the word
What you
intuition
see on your
mean?
screen in total.
Just
When
like
you have- when you
your
think of-
general feeling that something is,
Okay, I know. I don't want you to think that I'm going nuts. Sometimes I see things and I see that like what's going to happen, like, or feel something's happening. When Trump started getting rid of his Secretary of Defense and getting all these lackeys, the Attorney General all of a sudden resigned. Everybody was leaving. The people we knew who were normal. I told him, I swear to God, you don't have to believe it. I said something is not right here. This guy is because from day one he was depleting the institution, like the State Department. Anybody retires is not replaced. Anybody quits is not replaced. The Pentagon, anybody retires is not replaced. Ambassadors, never had a lot of ambassadors in all these countries. He was depleting the institution that will be standing in front of him. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing is that God was on America's side that day. What happened? I don't know what the military position would have been. I don't think they will win for to let it pass. I don't understand. But I had that intuition, even with the Israeli thing. I know I have a video. I wish I could find it. I don't want to get into it. I know we're not there, but I want to give you what intuition means. I was saying, what's going on? They don't want a one-state solution. They don't want a two-state solution because they're building the settlements in the other side. So are they looking for the final solution for the Palestinian? Or are they going to create I said they're going to create a situation where they could push them over to the Egyptian I was thinking that, and I was talking about, I'm like, well, fucking idiot. Sometimes I scare myself. I was reliably informed Trump isn't funding any of us. So I don't vote. Shut the fuck up.
Oh,
Trump,
it's not as if Trump has a history of not paying his own lawyers.
yeah, he's
or
gonna give
owing
you.
legal
Yeah,
fees.
I'm
Like,
so
oh my God, such an
happy
idiot.
that Giuliani is going to end his life as an embarrassment, as a joke. Because I'm telling you, what he did to his wife. I'm a fucking feminist sometimes. What he did to his wife in New York was unbelievable, and embarrassed her and humiliated her in front of 8 million people it was all over the newspaper. I was a kid. I used to go to school and read it, and because they still had newspapers then and things of that nature.
That's been divorced, what, 3 times?
Yeah, and she was nice. And she was a beautiful. I forgot her name. She was I think she was an actor or something. But the whole idea is you gotta have some respect. You're the mayor of the city.
God, how the money
Yeah,
have fallen.
you have a girlfriend. Shut the fuck up. Just sneak there. And he doesn't get laid. He doesn't have. They really took out his prostate, so his dick he doesn't get up or works anymore. Anyway, maybe once in a blue moon. So I don't know what the hell he was doing, but it's good that he was what do you call it? Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Yeah, that was the end of the MSNBC video.
Okay.
So, oh my God, it's like Trump has a history of mistreating his lawyers. If you were too legally illiterate to see this coming, to see the fact that you would be indicted,
raise your head a little bit. Raise your head a little bit. Yeah.
Presumably, by at the very least one state, then oh my God, it's over for you.
Yeah.
Ah, God. I wish they, beef up the charges.
Before I used to think, he's not going to jail. His followers is too violent. No, they're not. They don't want to go to jail. Maybe one asshole, two asshole out of them would do something stupid. But when they saw that everybody's got collected, the people who acted stupid on January 6th, the government looked for them, followed them, knocked on the door, and took them to jail. Some of them are doing like 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 8 months, 6 months. They knew that there is law and order. They needed to know that. Because if we didn't do that, that would have been the dumbest thing in the world. If you had let him get away with it, they would do it again. And Garland was weak in the beginning. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. Garland is an old Jewish guy with a soft voice, and the problem is with the fucking hillbillies. I said if what's his name? The president had got one of those fucking firebrand hillbillies who talked to their language, a crazy son of a bitch, and made him one of and like what they did in New York when they got the mafia. Who they got? They got Giuliani because he's Italian, so nobody could say it was racist. You know what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Because Garland is good, but he's soft spoken. He's a gentleman. He's like a gentleman.
Oh yeah, he's the establishment lawyer type.
Yeah. He's nice and quiet. He doesn't raise his voice, and he's a person. I think he's classy. Never met the guy. But you could tell us. He's better than Bill Barr, that piece of fucking garbage. Bill Barr but he's not, and I was saying that I don't want to say it because sometimes people, you anti-Semite. No, I'm not. At that moment, we needed somebody from the other side, from the west, from the south. Somebody, there's a lot of them. Let him take over. Let him fuck with them. You understand? Let him get his own. But anyway, it turns out he got smart. He outsmarted them when he put the Jack Smith. His name is Jack, the special counsel. That's it.
Yeah, special counsel.
Yeah. So what they're gonna do now? What they're doing? They're berating Donald Trump from court to court, from place to place, until his followers get used to it. Then it just becomes sanitized. You understand? It becomes normal. Then when he goes to jail, there's nobody there for him because he's acting stupid. He's not making any sense anyway. You see how he talks? Crazy shit he's been saying lately, that he beat Obama in the election and all that shit.
I don't think you ran against Obama.
Yeah, the whales die from the wind, the turbine, whatever they call it. The guy's nuts. The guy's losing it. If Biden said that, everybody say, "Oh, didn't we tell you he's walking? He's a dead man walking."
Oh, he's so old.
I know we're all Biden might lose Michigan if he doesn't get his shit together with the Arabs, because it's like half a million voters there, and they're all upset because not because Israel has a problem, but the way he reacted to the situation. He went there and embraced it. Netanyahu is a fucking war criminal. He could just played it on, gave them the assistance without making a big deal out of it and rubbing it in. You understand? And you have 2 billion people watching. Like, what? Why? You're sending two carriers. You're sending $14 billion, You're sending. There's 3,000 troops in Israel right now. They already took action, and you know I don't want to get into that because we're gonna get to the next thing. But what I'm saying is that he might lose Michigan, and he knows it. They put him on notice in Michigan because they voted for him. Because last time they came from neighborhood to neighborhood, told us, listen, we're gonna lose the country if you guys don't vote for Biden. Because believe it, Arabs used to vote Republican before Bush. I was looking at it, I was like, what the fuck? We were Republicans? Anyway, let's go, man. Let's go in there.
Oh, yeah.
Weird, man. I'm
So
telling you, he's got to get his shit